From inside the Aquatic Center of Neuqua Valley High School, Illinois, I am Dominic Leacounty alongside my partner Charlie Rook. We've got a good one tonight. It's senior night here as the Wildcats take on the Waubonsie Valley Warriors for a battle in the pool between two varsity clubs. Charlie, what's going on? It is senior night.
Well, Dom, I'm very excited to be here. Senior night, as you said, it's going to be a very good one tonight. The Wildcats coming into this one off of a very good past few meets. We're looking for a really good one tonight, and I'm really excited to start off with the 200-yard medley relay. And we're looking to get this one going right away.
So this is the war of 204, this time in the pool. And we start with the 200 medley. And it is a relay. Neuqua in lane 1, 3, and 4 here. Waubonsie in lanes 5 and 6. A battle right now between lanes 5 and 4. That is between Arnav Despandi and Ryan Cercello. As we get underway here, again, this is the 200-yard relay medley. Right now, Waubonsie with the lead. They take the transition and get their next man into the pool first.
As you said, Waubonsie with a bit of a lead. Arnav Despandi did a great job to start hard on that first 50 in the backstroke to give him the lead. But right now, it's lane 4's Jimmy Sinise coming right back into this one.
Yeah, one of those seniors tonight, Jimmy Sinise. Nice breaststrokes to get lane 4 and the Wildcats back into it now. Coming into the pool for the Wildcats is Amir Aliev. They'll be pursuing Nathaniel Jefferson with Waubonsie. Jefferson trying to keep a lead over Aliev. Aliev keeping up with him. Steady pace now. Jefferson, though, still has a lead. They make it the transition into the final 50 here.
Not much movement in that last one, but here it
look
comes.
At this.
What a performance this is.
Connor Boyle, no
Connor
surprise,
Boyle.
the Virginia commit catching some ground up on
like
Lucas Conrad's.
Looked like Neuqua was all but out of this one, but Connor Boyle gets them the win.
What a job to start it off. You hear the bells in the background from the parents. They're fired up. Connor Boyle, again, one of those seniors here on this Wildcat boys swim and dive team, gets them the first win of the night, just over Waubonsie. And like you said, Boyle made up some great ground, and he'll just edge out Lucas Conrad's for first. And wow, what a job he has done. And we know his short game is great with that freestyle, and he really showed it off there.
Well, the Virginia commit really showed why he hit D1. In fact, I mean, that's an absolutely phenomenal performance by Connor Boyle. No surprises there. I mean, the Wildcats were about 5 meters behind the entire way, and Connor Boyle put a stop to that as soon as he jumped into the water. And it's a very strong start for the Wildcats in this one tonight.
So Wildcats, lane number 4 of Cercello, Sinise, Aliev, and Connor Boyle come from behind. And at lane 5 with Waubonsie, Wildcats take first place. In this one, we head into event number 2, the 200-yard freestyle. And let's take a look at our competitors in the pool.
Well, in lane 1 for Neuqua, we've got Stefan Anderson. Lane 2, Dima Kondrashev. Lane 3, Christopher Cottrill. And lane 4, Aiden Dunn. Aiden Dunn, the junior in this one. I'm very excited to watch him swim. We'll also see him later tonight in the 500-yard freestyle, that being his main event.
Watch out for Aiden Dunn's seed time, the lowest out of this group, 1:48.86. And again, we know how lethal he is with that 500 freestyle, so we could definitely see a nice performance here as well. Our good friend Aiden Dunn out there in the pool right now. Again, I've mentioned this before, but he has come on a broadcast with us when the girls were doing swim and dive, and now we get to see our friend Aiden Dunn in the pool. And here they are off.
And it's Aiden Dunn with a slight lead off the dive. Excellent job there from him. It's a very close first 25.
Aiden Dunn with just a slight lead over his Wildcat counterpart, Christopher Cottrell, in lane 3. Now Dunn starting to grow his lead ever so slightly. But Dunn makes nice transitions. Doesn't stay underwater for too long there, Charlie.
No, he didn't see him stay as long underwater as we would normally. But he does have a nice lead here. This is the thing with Aiden Dunn. You don't realize it, but slowly and surely he starts to gain ground and assert his lead.
He's trying to gain that ground right now over lane 5 with Waubonsie. Keon Lamb in lane number 5 and second right now. Battling for third is lane 6, and Lucas Martins, and lane 3 is Chris Cottrell. It looks like it's Martins right now, however, with that third place spot. But all Aiden Dunn right now in this 200-yard freestyle. Again, we could see him swim over 800 yards in tonight's events.
We're just an absolute workhorse, this guy is. I mean, on an ordinary night, as we said, he's going to swim about 800 yards, which is absolutely insane. I know, having swum before, I could barely manage 100 yards, so quite a difference there.
Keon Lamb trying to catch up with Aiden Dunn now. He made a good transition, had some good underwaters there, trying to get some ground. Aiden Dunn, though, not going to let that happen. He's really going to have to push here. And he will finish first just over the Warrior. So the Wildcats with another first place.
Well, what we did see there from Waubonsie, though, was a 2-3 finish. They do have a little bit more position there, but a great job from Aiden Dunn to be able to hang on against a Keon Lamb there that didn't go away.
So as you said, the Wildcats will take first. Again, Aiden Dunn getting it done, but lanes 5 and 6 with Lamb and Martins take 2 and 3. So again, as we've mentioned multiple times, swimming is not just individual. Obviously, you would like to win every event, but if your teammates can't back you up behind you, then it's going to be hard to get those points on the board.
Well, as you said, yeah, no, definitely a team sport just as much as individual, and this Neuqua program's built on realizing that. And that's why they're just so good overall as a team, because they've got the depth and consistency extra mile.
So Aiden Dunn swims a 1:50.30, just over his counterpart in lane number 5. Keon Lamb swims just a half of a second after him. And yet another Wildcat victory as we move on to event number 3, the 200-yard individual medley.
So many times already this season, but Connor Boyle in lane 4, seated fastest in this time, the only one in the field that's seated sub 2. See what he can bring. Hopefully another victory for the Wildcats here. And his counterparts, Ryan Dornier, lane 3, Parkinson 2, and Shen 1. And we are off and running.
Boyle right now with the lead as we start with the butterfly. And look at lane 5. I really want to mention Elmer Wang for the Warriors stayed underwater for the longest amount of time there. And obviously we know that Connor Boyle is... The butterfly is not his event. The freestyle is, however, so we could really expect to see Boyle pick it up and get a large lead as we transition into the last 50 for this one.
Well, Elmer Wang is a very, very good fly athlete, and so he's done his best to stay with Boyle on that part. But you can see Boyle and his counterpart in lane 3, Ryan Doyer, just trying to extend their lead a little bit over Wang, but he's hanging on. He's also a very strong breaststroke athlete, and I believe we're going to see that here.
Yeah.
As he's going to look to take the lead now.
Yeah, but Boyle's event is not the breaststroke, so Elmer Wang going to try to do as much as possible here to expand as much of a lead as he can, because he knows that once they get into freestyle, Connor Boyle can really turn on the jets and take over. So Wang gonna have to make something happen here, and he is. He's growing a decent lead over Boyle.
What's important for Boyle to just stay intact now, as he's got some hunting to do on this last 50.
Here comes Connor Boyle. Can the Virginia commit pull it off once again for the Wildcats?
You see him start to eat away that lead. It's going to come down to this last 25.
Gonna have to make a good transition, Wang.
Oh, and here we go.
Here we go, Connor Boyle. Elmer Wang, who's gonna take it? Boyle catching up on Wang. Here comes Connor Boyle.
Here comes
He's
Boyle.
now tied with Wang. Can he get over the hump?
And it looks like Boyle's going to get him again.
Connor Boyle, what a job.
We've talked about it so many times already. Connor Boyle is such a good freestyle athlete. He knew he just had to stay in contact with Wang, and he could get him that last 50. Mutual respect in the pool from those two, and what a race that was. Just under half a second separating those two. An excellent job by Connor Boyle, and a boost for the Wildcats on event 3 of this one.
So the Wildcats will go 1-3 with Boyle and Droyer. The Warriors go 2-4. That's Wang and Kant. But wow, you like to see the mutual respect between the two in the pool, you know, giving each other a high five, acknowledging each other on a great race. You just like to see that, especially on the high school level. These two have probably known each other for a while, you would assume, through swimming together, and not only in high school facing each other, but growing up in club as well. So, but what a job by Connor Boyle. He does it again for the Wildcats, able to just edge out a win against the Warriors. The Wildcats have not lost an event here yet. They've taken first in all 3 so far. As we move on to one of the shorter, if not the shortest, events of the day. It is the 50-yard free, and we'll have 2 heats of this.
Well, very good to see a new face here in the varsity level, Nick Barretto, who we've seen the JV a few meets this season, getting his varsity call up. He's going to swim in heat 1 of 2 in this first heat of the 50. See at 26.2. Then his 2 counterparts, Aiden O'Malley and Austin Olson, 26.7 and 25.52. An all Neuqua heat, as they'll be in lanes 2, 3, and 4. So perhaps we'll see some healthy competition here between those 3.
Well, like you said, Barretto did have himself a phenomenal JV meet against the North Stars on Saturday. So he will get the call here to swim on the varsity level. Always nice to see that when guys can perform at a high enough level to get themselves to the next level. We're underway here, heat number 1 of 2, again, of the 50-yard free, and it's a pretty tight one so far between the Wildcats.
Well, that's what we love to see on the 50s. They're always gonna be so close, right the last few meters, or a few yards, I should say.
It's between Olson and Barretto right now. Olson just edging out Barretto. Ooh, that's gonna be close.
That's a very close.
Wow, .04 of a
don't
second separating her. Yes, excuse me. .04 of a second separating the two.
You don't see that very often. That's a great race. You never really see that. And just 2 excellent races from those two as they do battle with each other in heat 1 of 2 here. Barretto looked further out of that one.
He did, yeah. Olson definitely looked like he had more of a lead, and Barretto then, I think he had a really good transition off the wall coming back. Nice underwater, stayed calm, and although he still does take second, again, he stays consistent with his Wildcat counterpart. So Olson will take first in the first heat. Now we move on to heat number 2, a mix of both Neuqua and Waubonsie here.
Well, yeah, no. Neuqua's going to fill up the first 4 lanes with Lashak, Aliov, Dunn, and Senesi. And then the Warriors are going to take up the next 5 lanes. In this one, it's going to be Sinise with the fastest seed time. He'll look ideally for the win in this heat against his counterparts and the Warrior team. Interesting
to not see Connor Boyle in this one. Might be getting a day off from this event.
Yeah, Probably just getting a bit of rest. He swam 2 already, I believe. So maybe just a bit of rest and saving him for later events. But we're off and running.
Jimmy Sinise with a nice lead to start. We already head into the last 25. He makes the transition first. Right now it's between Alex Dunn and Nathan Hyun, second place. Let's see here. Jimmy Sinise is going to take first. Second should
really
be
close.
Alex Dunn, and it will be.
Great job from Dunn there. That was a close race.
It was.
All the way through.
0.13 of a second separating second and third place. And the Wildcats secure spots 1 and 2.
They just did an excellent job there to stay intact. And Jimmy Sinise was about 2 seconds in front of the rest of the field. And in the 50-yard free, that is quite a lot. So an excellent job by him there.
So that will do it for the 50-yard free. Event number 4 is in the books. Now we head on to our diving portion. And again, just one diver in the water for the Wildcats tonight, Thomas Kiefer. And we see 3 Warriors on the board as well.
Well, yeah, we saw Kiefer in his last outing doing a solid job to try and keep with the 3 barbs he was against last time. Probably wasn't his best day as he was a little below his seeded score. He'll look to improve upon that tonight as he's going to go up against Bukala, Roberts, and Strader from the Warriors.
So before we start diving here today, again, thank you for joining us here on Neuqua Media on YouTube, neuquatv.org as well. It is senior night here from the Neuqua Valley Aquatic Center in Naperville, Illinois. The Wildcats and the Warriors going at it, the boys varsity swim and dive meet. And you can catch all the live coverage here thanks to Neuqua Valley Media. Hey, if you're also interested, the girls basketball team is also taking on Timothy Christian High School tonight at 7 o'clock, and we will also have coverage of that. So if you're interested, stay tuned. We have a double billing for you, so be sure to stay tuned. We'll also have the JV race as well, and Charlie and Alexis Emmons will take you the rest of the way there. We might be taking a short break here before the diving starts, so we will take a... Oh, no, excuse me. Here comes the first diver on the board.
I believe that is Thomas Kiefer, so Wildcat's going to start us off.
Really like the design of the Wildcat head logo on the bricks there behind the boards there. I think that's pretty cool, Charlie.
Just a perfect place for it. Really solidifies everything Neuqua represents, just right behind our own diving boards, and maybe a little bit of inspiration for Thomas Kiefer. But he will...
It helps our broadcast out a lot with visuals, I'll tell you that, and makes it look a lot nicer for us. But here's Kiefer. Going to reset his dive here. Now starts on the board, facing the pool to start, and nice entrance there. Feet maybe just a little before the head into the water, and they actually might just be warming up here. So we apologize for that.
Good to see him warm up all the time.
So we will just take a short break again here before the real competition, and we get our judges out there. So again, Dominic Liacani, along with my partner Charlie Rook, and for the rest of the Neuqua Media staff here covering this boys swim and dive meet here. The Wildcats and the Warriors going at it. War of 204. Excitement from the Aquatic Center in Neuqua Valley High School. It's War of 204 and senior night, so don't go anywhere. We will be back after this short break with the diving portion of tonight's coverage. So, Max Bolka will start it off. The Warriors diving first here. We're back here on Neuqua Media on YouTube, neuquatv.org as well. Thanks for tuning in to the dive session of this varsity boys swim and dive meet between the Warriors and the Wildcats. First dive, and looked to be a nice entrance. Nice aerials there. Little flip. We got a 5.5, a 5.5, and a 6. You'll see those judges' scores on the right of your screen just beyond the pool as well.
Yeah, and as you said, a solid dive there. Maybe a little slanted on the entrance, but nonetheless a solid start for him. Here comes Thomas Kiefer.
Kiefer now his first dive. Not a bad entrance. He gets a 4, a 3.5, and a 3.5 there.
Yeah, knees might have been bent a little bit there in the air and on the entrance, but not a bad start.
You were mentioning to me, Charlie, but some of these Warrior divers look pretty big.
Well, this guy on the block is just absolutely jacked. I bet he swims.
Not a bad entrance. Got some good air there. He gets a 4, 3.5, and a 3.5. Here's Max Strader. And like you said, these Waubonsie Valley divers definitely do look big, muscular, and tough. They get ready to enter the water. They also look very concentrated and confident as well.
Well, Strader and Bukala seated at 197 and 198, so definitely a little bit of competition there between those two.
A 3, a 3.5, and a 4. Got a lot of horizontal distance there. Didn't get really a good drive off the board vertically, however. I think that's what maybe kept some points off the board for him. But here's Max McCalla. Pretty smooth.
Really nice.
Not a bad entrance. That should get him some nice points. Yeah, 6.5. 6.5 and a 5.5. So Max B for the Warriors doing his job.
The best part about that dive was the entrance. He really managed to straighten himself out there. And that's what really earned those last few points.
Thomas Kiefer, the last time will enter facing away from the water, like we usually see him. Looked pretty straight going into the water, but that head might have been just in front of his feet. He gets a 5, 5.5, and a 6. So a nice dive there from the Wildcat, and he'll get a fist bump from his opponents. That's always great to see the mutual respect between these two, especially since these clubs and these schools are such big rivals. You always like to see that.
Yeah, for sure, and especially considering Thomas Kiefer probably earning a little bit more respect even.
Oh, very nice. I believe that was Noah Roberts. He gets a 6, a 6, and a 5.5. Not bad at all. He looked very smooth going into the water.
Oh, he looked great. Really, really solid dive. But as I was saying, I mean, Thomas Kiefer, he's usually the only one diving for Neuqua, so definitely earning a little bit more respect for the teams he goes up against. But as you were saying, a very nice dive there. Maybe a little slanted on the way in there.
Did that front flip. It's 2 4.5s and a 5. Again, you see those scores from the judges on the right of your screen. I believe this is round number 3 starting up. I believe we only have 6 rounds of diving. So after this round, we will be halfway through the diving portion. And here is Max Wakala, and he'll face away from the pool just like Thomas Kiefer usually does. Hands straight in the air. And here's the execution. He gets 3 5.5. So consistent scores all around the board there from the judges. They both saw the same things in that dive. Maybe not the most straight entrance, but that gets points on the board. It looked good in the air.
Well, yeah, no, it looked like he was still spinning in the air a little, or spinning upon entrance there a little bit, but, I mean, you're not going to complain about 3 5.5s.
Thomas Kiefer, not bad at all. Nothing too fancy in the air, just goes straight down. He gets 5, 5, and a 6. So good stuff there from the Wildcat as well.
Kiefer's doing well here to keep up with him.
Here's Noah Roberts, definitely who looks to be the biggest man on the boards today. Like you said, Charlie, he looks jacked. A lot of front flips. It didn't look like he successfully landed that. Yeah, that's going to get some points off for him, but
that's a shame for him because he looked really good in the air, but still going forward as he entered. It almost looked like he wiped out in the water.
Yeah, he didn't have enough time to extend his legs and get himself in a straight position to enter the water, but still get some points. Here comes the last diver for round number 3. I really like the somersaults in the air. A 5, and a 4, but just think if Max Strader was able to just extend those legs just more, that could have maybe got him some half points extra there.
Max Strader extends his legs upon entrance there. That's probably one of the best dives we see tonight. But that just shows you every little part of your technique counts in this diving portion.
Round number 4 of 6 starts now. Max Bacala. Oh, he looked like he landed almost flat on his back there. Yeah, that's going to cost him some points. That never feels good.
Yeah, just landing there on his neck or his back, as you said. Couldn't quite straighten out, and that'll definitely cost him a little bit. Thomas Kiefer having a really solid night, though.
Well, he is, and let's see if he can keep that going now. His 4th dive. He'll be facing the pool once again. Nice entrance there from Kiefer. I really like that dive. Wow, a 7.5, a 6.5.
It's a very good
and a
dive
5.5. I believe the diving scale is out of 8. So he got a very high score there. Nice job there from Thomas Kiefer. He keeps it simple, but man, is that entrance just beautiful and elegant into the water.
Well, that's the best entrance we've seen all night, and the judges definitely rewarded that. Kiefer, seated last in this, is doing really, really well here tonight. And you could see that even the boys on the edge of the pool were giving him a lot of props for that. He came out with a smile, so good for him.
Noah Roberts did not look like he got a lot of air there on his 4th dive, but he looked solid going into the water. He gets a 4, a 5, and a 5, I believe, so not bad at all.
Well, I'm sure it's hard to jump when you're the size of a truck.
That's a good comparison there, Charlie.
Thank you, Dom.
He is a very in shape and toned athlete. He definitely looks like he's been working out, so. Oh. He landed almost on his back again, and look at a 5, a 3.5, and a 4 there.
He'll be rewarded for what he did in the air there with the 5, but yeah, just his entrance, he fell back and will land on his back.
Round number 5 of 6 of diving. Here's Max Bacala once again on the board for his 5th of 6 time here this afternoon. Solid entrance. I really like the in-air somersaults, but I don't think that he got the points he wanted there just because of his legs not being extended. We've been talking about that, Charlie.
Well, yeah, no, he goes for a bit of a simple dive there. He does really well in the air, but just a few flips in the air and then just Yeah, he can't straighten his legs, and when you can't do that on a simpler dive, it'll definitely cost you some points. Here comes Thomas Kiefer. There's that.
Thomas Kiefer's just some gorgeous entrances tonight.
There's
A 7, a 6, and a 6.5. Thomas Kiefer keeping it simple and putting some great points on the board.
Kiefer's doing a great job tonight.
And you don't need to do all those nice fancy tricks in the air when you can enter as smooth as that. I mean, that was just some great stuff we saw there from Thomas Kiefer, the only Wildcat on the board tonight.
Definitely the smallest one down there. He keeps it really elegant on all his dives.
A 3.5, a 4, and a 3. That's just a great example. I mean, you take a look at those past two dives. One of them was very simple but elegant. The other one tried to get very fancy, and that's what Noah Roberts tried to do there, but he just couldn't stick that landing.
Yeah, no, his arms looked like they were still straight, but they looked like they were flailing a little bit as he went in, and he definitely came in falling forward.
Max Schrader. The final dive of the 5th. Lot of somersaults in the air. He faced away from the water. He gets a 6, a 5.5, and a 4.5. So the Warriors staying consistent near that 4, 5, and 6 range. But here we go. Round number 6, the final round here of diving this afternoon for the varsity portion. I believe the only diving we will see tonight between the two levels of varsity and JV. Here comes Max Bacala, his final dive. Ooh, he keeps it simple just like Kiefer. Nice entrance into the water, but it didn't look like he extended his legs all that well. He gets a 3.5, a 4.5, and a 4.5. He didn't really stay too straight with that board either there. Maybe that is also a factor into what goes into scoring.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, there's definitely a lot more that plays into this than we're discussing, and that's what makes this just so hard. And if I'm correct, I think Kiefer may be the overall leader right now.
He sure seems like it. Very nice entrance. Oh, they'll give him 4.5s all around the board. I thought that would get him more points. The entrance looked nice, but maybe he just didn't get enough air on that.
Well, I agreed with you there, Dom. I thought the entrance was good enough to earn him something else, but I'm not nearly qualified to score dives, but looked like he did a good job. But you're probably right. It was probably the air time there.
Noah Roberts, his final dive. Pretty smooth. He looked cool in the air, but a 3, a 4, and a 4.
You can tell one of the judges definitely noticed something there. He was very close to something.
Here's this 1.7 difficulty dive here. Max Schrader to round it out. The last dive of the day. Dive number 4 of round number 6. Schrader faces away from the board. Gets momentum and not a bad entrance. I don't know if that's going to get him a lot of points, so yeah. Ooh, a 6, a 4, and a 3. So one judge definitely found that dive to be a lot smoother than the others, but that'll do it. And just from looking at the scores overall, it looked like Thomas Kiefer might have taken this one home. He definitely looked to have the best scores.
Well, yeah, no, I'll definitely get that score update to you when the JV starts tonight or as soon as possible. But yeah, Thomas Kiefer there did a great job. One of the best I've seen him perform all season.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I really thought that was the best we've seen from him so far this year. Definitely looked dialed in, very nice clean entrances into the water, and I mean, to be quite frank with you, those are the best scores that I've seen him put up, and probably we've seen him put up this year here for Neuqua as well. So event number 5 was diving. We are now concluded with that. We move on to event number 6, the 100-yard butterfly.
And yeah, for Neuqua in these events, we've got Ian Alumba, lane 2, Mark Menezes, lane 3, and Amir Aliyev in lane 4. The senior Aliyev is who I'm most excited about in this event. The fly definitely being his best stroke. He's seated at 53, and this event's made for him. And then we go 5 through 8, being all Warriors. So Warriors probably looking for their first event win here tonight, filling up lanes 5 through 7.
Well, since it is senior night, we do have some fun facts on Menezes and Aliyev. Aliyev, parents Anar and Kamali, aspires to be a lawyer or ambassador. He started swimming in his park district when he was 10, and then he joined club when he was 11. He's been swimming ever since, and this is one of his favorite events, the 100-yard butterfly, as well as the medley relay. And his favorite team memory was the Chad Olympics. His favorite meet was the 2020 sectional meet and the West Chicago relays. And his words of wisdom to all is make sure your worst opponent doesn't live between your own 2 ears. That is some great advice.
Well, yeah, no, just an all-around really professional guy, and I'm sure he believes everything he said in that quote there. I've had the privilege of getting to run and swim with this guy before, but believe me, when I swam with him, I did not swim with him, I swam behind him, and just an all-around really great guy, and I wish him the best in everything he does in college and beyond.
Now we have Mark Menezes with parents Sunil and Natasha. His future plans. He is undecided on a university, but plans on majoring in ecological science. He's been swimming on Fox ever since he was 11, and he's also swam for Neuqua all 4 years throughout his high school career. His favorite events, this is also one of his favorites, the 100-yard butterfly. He also enjoys the 50-yard freestyle. His favorite team memory was the Hour of Power. His favorite meet has been the DVC conference meets, and his words of wisdom are enjoy each moment of the season because they go by faster than you think.
Well, you know, Martin Menezes is definitely another guy for the Wildcats. He's been a 4-year senior, always been a solid for them. Definitely a guy that's shown a lot of improvement, swimming since 11 years old, as you mentioned.
And this might be a little bit of a tangent, but I do know Mark personally. I have actually played wiffle ball with him over the summer, and he is just such a class act. Great kid. Always very professional, very kind. He has won our Roberto Clemente Award 7 times now just for being such a good sport on and off the field, and also a good sport in and out of the pool. So exciting to see him in this event, and here they go. The 2 seniors, Aliyev and Menezes, as well as Amba. In the water for the Wildcats, Jefferson, Despandi, Sahil, and in for the Warriors. And right now it is...
Looks like lane 6 is...
Yeah, lane 6.
Arnav Deshpande doing a great job in this first 50.
We're already halfway through.
A lead against Aliyev. He's actually kind of opened up a small one there. Let's see what Aliyev can do.
Here comes Aliyev, though. Aliyev trying to come back over Despandi. It's between Aliyev and Despandi here for the final 25. Here they come.
See Deshpande's teammate there trying to will him through. Let him know that Aliyev's right on his shoulder. We've got a very close one here.
Despandi and Aliyev going to be close. It looks to be lane 6. Despandi just over the Wildcat. And it looked like lane 5. And Nathaniel Jefferson, he takes 3rd, while Amir Aliyev will take 2nd. About 0.5 of a second. Yeah. Separating 1st and 2nd places.
Yeah, just over half a second win there by Deshpande. Swam a really gutsy race. Didn't expect that from him, but a great performance. And his Waubonsie counterpart's going to get 3rd, so very important points for them. But Amir Aliyev still swimming a very good race. And the Wildcats will go 2 and 4 and 5.
Despandi gets the first win today for an event for the Warriors, so they finally cracked that first place spot on the leaderboard. As we head into event number 7, the boys 100-yard freestyle, and just a reminder to everyone and to let everyone know that the senior night festivities will take place during the second break tonight. So they will be coming up soon after a few more events. But let's get into the 100-yard freestyle. Event number 7, Charlie, who we got?
Well, we've got Christopher Cottrill, lane 1. Really excited to see him swim. Ryan Cercello in lane 2. Dima Kondrashev, lane 3. And just the guy who is lightning himself in the water when it comes to the freestyle events, Connor Boyle, the Virginia commit, supposed to win this one by about 6 seconds, at least against his Neuqua teammates. So really excited to watch him swim tonight in this event.
Well, let's take a look at that profile for Boyle. Parents, Patrick Inawana. He plans to study computer science and, or business, and obviously swim collegiately at the University of Virginia. Some of his swimming history includes the Breckenridge Breakers from 2009 to present, Fox from 2011 to 2020, and FMC Aquatics from 2020 to 2021. He loves the 500 freestyle and the 100-yard freestyle as we start here, and we do see Boyle with a lead. His favorite memories were winning the 400 free relay in order to get second as a team at state in 2019, and that was his favorite meet as well. His words of wisdom is no person in the world has succeeded more times than they have failed, and every time you fail, you are one step closer to succeeding. So, eyes and smart words there from the senior, and we wish Connor Boyle all the best as he plans to go to the University of Virginia and help carry that squad down there. But now we see him with a lead over Waubonsie in lane number 6. That is Elmer Wang. And we saw Boyle and Wang as Boyle finishes first here. He will take it. Elmer Wang and Boyle actually did have a moment of respect between each other.
Yeah, and Connor Boyle there doing a great job. Almost looked like he was coasting in a little bit there. Didn't really look pressured that whole race. And Elmer Wang doing his best to keep up, though. We've mentioned the respect they have for each other tonight, especially in that IM race. Just such a close battle that was.
So Wang and Boyle, the only ones to go under 50 seconds. They swim 50. Another thing to mention is Boyle will be going to the Olympic trials, I believe. So good luck to him as well. Again, such a bright future for this Wildcat. And he has been dominant all 4 years here for this varsity swim and dive program. That'll do it for event number 7. 100-yard freestyle is behind us. We move into the long one. The 500-yard freestyle. As I like to say, 5 football fields long. And we see our good friend Aiden Dunn back in this spot once again.
Well, yeah, Aiden Dunn, the one to watch in this one, has really just dominated every field I've watched him swim against in this one. But he's got help of Parkinson and Anderson in 2 and 3. Those two looking to work together, just seated about 1.5 seconds apart. And then for Waubonsie, we've got Lucas Conrad's lane 5, Keon Lamb lane 6, and in lane 7, Luke Martins. So maybe we'll see what Waubonsie can offer to try and put a stop to this dominant performance in the 500 by Aiden Dunn.
Here we go. The 5-minute long event, the 500-yard freestyle. Let's see if Aiden Dunn can get under his seed time of 4:48.62. They are off. And the pace is going to be set right now. And you see Lucas Conrads and Aiden Dunn already fighting it out for first. The Wildcats and the Warriors going at it here. The War of 204 is live here from the Aquatic Center of Neuqua Valley High School in Naperville, Illinois. You're watching the 500-yard freestyle right now between the Wildcats and the Warriors. Again, this is Dominic Leacani alongside my partner Charlie Rook here. for Neuqua Media on YouTube, neuquatv.org as well. Glad you could join us. And Charlie, we've got a good one so far. Conrad's is starting to take a lead over Dunn, but this race is long from over.
Well, yeah, no, it looks like Dunn, at least at this stage, is going to get his first real challenge of the season in this event, at least at home. And Luke Conrad's doing a great job to start this one off. He's actually gotten a bit of a lead, but watch Aiden Dunn try and drag himself back into this one.
Aiden Dunn is not going to go down without a fight here. Already on lap number 6 now of 20. But Conrad's is starting to grow that lead slightly, and he will expand it with every stroke here. Dunn's starting to fall behind, but he still has a very secure spot for second right now, as Hyun Lam from Waubonsie still has that third place spot. Now he's starting to catch up on Dunn. Dunn now staying consistently behind Conrad's. Conrad's hasn't been able to expand too much. Dunn will make the transition after Conrad's, and we've got a good one so far, as Conrad's now will expand it once again. It looks like Conrad's is really starting to expand his leads on the way towards the blocks.
Well, you know, Conrad's now doing a really, really solid job of maintaining his lead. That's what's so important about the 500-yard swim. Got to be able to maintain your pace for such a long period of time, and it makes it so difficult to pick up the pace when you want to. You're getting used to swimming at the same speed for a while.
Luke Conrad's now makes the transition well before Aiden Dunn. Aiden Dunn still with a solid second place.
And be sure to watch Lam in lane 6 here. He's definitely not out of this against Aiden Dunn.
He's not. You can see him starting to catch up at some points, then falling behind. So it's been back and forth between the two right now, but obviously Conrad's has definitely got that edge, and looks to be just a little bit more stamina over Dunn.
Well, yeah, no, we rarely see Dunn down like this in this race, but Conrad's a phenomenal athlete in his own rights. My thought when I saw him on the blocks was, kid's big. And remember, Dunn's just a junior, and he's already swimming so well in this event. Very excited to see what he can do next year as a senior in this event.
I believe Conrad's is also a senior, so he's been well experienced in this event on this level. Yeah, Luke Conrad right now, really with that nice lead over Dunn. The Warriors at this rate will take a first place spot for the second time today. If Conrad can hold this over Dunn, and at this rate it looks like he will if he can keep up that pace, but if Dunn wants to make something happen, he's going to really need to turn on the jets here.
Yeah, no, it's time to go for Dunn if you want to try and claw your way back into this. He has sped up a little bit. That lead over
Lamb
looks
like it
has definitely become a little more substantial.
Here we go. Conrad's, yeah, you hear that horn from the official.
This will be his last 50, and here comes Aiden Dunn. Maybe not going to be able to catch up, but definitely noticeably speeding up.
Haven't seen anyone really lapped in this event yet, so all very solid competitors in this one.
We know a very solid field, as you just mentioned. No one's been lapped. Yeah, definitely rare to see, especially in an event as long as this one.
Yeah, all 8 lanes, I believe, are headed towards their final 50. Luke Conrad's of Waubonsie Valley gets them their second event win of the day. Right behind him is Aiden Dunn to take second for the Wildcats, and behind them is Keon Lamb in lane 6. The Warriors go 1 and 3. Let's see if the Wildcats can go 2 and 4. Going to be close. Let's see if Parkinson can edge out Stefan Anderson, and he does. The Wildcats, I believe, are going to go 2, 4, and 5, while the Warriors go 1, 3, and 6. But a nice win there from Lucas Conrad's.
Well, you know, Conrad's swimming a very impressive 4:46 there. Dunn also swimming a really good time of 4:53. Anytime you're able to go under 5 in the 500-yard freestyle, definitely a very impressive job. Keon Lamb, we didn't talk about him too much this race, but a really impressive swim for him. He crawls under 5 himself, and a really respectable time for 3rd place. Now we've got one of the more exciting and faster races of the day, the 200-yard freestyle relay.
Event number 9 coming your way. Like you said, Charlie, the 200-yard free. We got 5 lanes of action here.
Yep, 5 lanes of action in this one. And we're going to start you off for Neuqua with Mark Menezes, lane 1, Ryan Doyer, lane 3, and Connor Boyle in lane 4. That lane 4 is really looking like the one to watch. Boyle, Dunn, Cercello, and Sinise. But Nicholas Barreto, as we talked about earlier, getting his, he will be in lane 1 of Neuqua's team. He was swimming the 3rd leg.
Here is the 200-yard freestyle relay. Menezes, Cottrell, Barreto, and Anderson in lane 1 for the Wildcats. Droyer, Lashak, Kondrasev, and Aiden Dunn in lane 3. Boyle, Alex Dunn, Ryan Cercello, and Jimmy Sinise in lane 4 for the Wildcats. And it is lane 4 right now with Connor Boyle taking a nice lead to start off. Again, this is just the 200-yard freestyle here. So into the pool now is Alex Dunn in lane 4 to try to expand that lead over his Wildcat and Warrior counterparts in lanes numbers 3 and 5. Still Alex Dunn with the lead.
It looks like his teammate may be catching up to him a little bit in lane 3.
Now in the pool is Ryan Cercello in lane 4 and Dima Kondrasev in lane 3. Cercello makes the transition first in the field, but here comes Kondrasev. What a job he's doing catching up to Cercello. Going to be close here between the Wildcats and lanes 3 and 4. Kondrasev catches up fully to Cercello.
This one will be Dunn and Sinise going at it.
Wow. Aiden Dunn, Jimmy Sinise. Really going to have to push here. The senior going up against the junior. They make the transition on the wall at almost the exact same time. Now Jimmy Sinise starting to get a lead over Dunn. Sinise and Dunn fighting it out for first and second here. The 200-yard freestyle will conclude. I believe like Sinise will take the win. Only fitting on senior night.
Well, great job by Sinise there to hold him off after Kondrasev came back and gave them a decent lead, if not a tie.
So close to a sub 130 there on both ends on lanes 3 and 4 there for the relay squads.
And I mean, performance from Aiden Dunn in that 50. Yeah, he may have lost by just 0.3, but he's just off of a 500-yard freestyle event to come in and push like that. An excellent job from him.
So Connor Boyle, a part of his 3rd event, between individual and relay events. That's his 3rd win of the day.
Yeah, no, a very hard guy to beat. Really fast. Virginia commit.
Well, he's taken the 200-yard medley. He's taken the 200-yard IM, and now he takes the 200-yard freestyle.
As you mentioned earlier, congratulations to him on an Olympic trial.
And we will get our senior night festivities rolling here from the Aquatic Center inside of Neuqua Valley High School. On Neuqua Media, I believe, we'll let it roll out for you. So we're going to let the natural audio and the senior night festivities roll out here from the pool inside of Neuqua Valley High School. Our seniors are going to be acknowledged. We have their parents here as well, and We'll take about a 10-minute break from the commentary, and we'll let you watch these senior night festivities as they roll along.
parents are Terry and Christopher. Alex plans to go to college and study aerospace engineering. His favorite team memory, when we all watched the intro videos during the tri-meet. His favorite meet was the tri-meet. And his words of wisdom are, make the best of what you have because you never know when we will lose it all. And always work hard to become the best you can be and have fun while doing it. Alex Dunn. Michael Lashab. Michael's future plans for college is undecided but majoring in biology. His favorite team memory was being yelled at by Coach Merrick after jumping a can opener in the pool and soaking her and the chalkboard. Favorite meet was the Naperville North Invite, and his words of wisdom are, don't be last. Michael Lashab. Mark Menezes. Parents Emil and Natasha. Mark's future plans. He's undecided on which university, but plans on majoring in actuarial science. Did I say that right? Actuarial. Favorite team memory is the Hour of Power. Favorite meet is the BBC conference meet. His words of wisdom are to enjoy each moment of the season because they go by faster than you think. Mark Menezes. Final senior swimmer of the evening is Jimmy Sinise. Parents Don and Allison. Future plans are swimming at the University of Tampa. Favorite team memory is the sophomore year when our team placed second at state and New Trier High School. His favorite meet was the tri-meet with St. Charles North and Notre Dame Prep because of the t-shirt relays and the 100 free relays. Words of wisdom to the team. Listen carefully to this one. Don't make Coach Allen mad. Jimmy Sinise.
All right, congratulations to our seniors. What a great group. Couldn't be prouder of this group. Way to go. We'll be talking more about you at the end of the year. Great job. Congratulations on being on the team for all 4 years, all of you. It's been an outstanding group, great group of parents. So thank you very much. In a really challenging year, we're trying to make the best of it. Let's do a final picture with just our seniors with masks on, guys. Parents, thank you very much. We'll get the pictures out here for the first time.
And we are back here live on Neuqua Media on YouTube, neuquatv.org as well. Hopefully you enjoyed those senior night festivities, and now we're back underway. Just 3 more events to go here, and we start off with the 100-yard backstroke, and each event will only have 1 heat to go with them.
Looks like Jimmy Sinise out to an early lead in lane 4. And now it's lane 5's. Lane 5's Lucas Conrad's.
Look out for lane 6, though.
And
Arnav
Deshpande, as you said.
Deshpande, yeah. Look at him. He's got a nice lead. You can clearly tell the backstroke is his stroke right now, but the Warriors going 1-2 right here between Conrad's and Deshpande.
Neuqua have not been 1-2 tonight, but it looks like Conrad's and Deshpande might do just that. A very impressive swim from those two. And it looks like the Warriors are going to go 1-2 here.
The Wildcats will go 3 and 4, so that's huge for Conrad's and Deshpande, especially for the Warriors. This will be a close meet at the end of the day, and I think that point-wise, it's going to come down to the wire, especially if the Warriors can get something going here in these last 2 events now.
Well, yeah, no, you just saw Deshpande there, and Conrad's going 53 and 54 seconds. Those are 2 very fast times in this event, faster than any Neuqua seed, and they will go 1-2. And as you were saying, yeah, very important for them to get off to a fast start out of the break, as they're looking to maybe make a slight comeback here. Definitely a really close one as we enter the last 2 events.
Well, Deshpande, this is his 2nd event win of the day. He won event number 6, the 100-yard butterfly, and now he wins the 10th event, the 100-yard backstroke. So let's move on now. Event number 11, Charlie, who do we have in the pool here for the 100-yard breaststroke?
Well, in lane 1, we've got Michael Lashak, Ryan Cercello, Mark Menezes, and Ron Doyer. 4 great athletes in the pool for Neuqua. Ryan Doyer on paper, supposed to be the fastest Neuqua athlete in the water. And then for the Warriors, we've got Noth, Hoyne, and Lee. I apologize to the Hoyne brothers if I just said your name wrong. And lanes 5 and 6. We are just about ready to go in this one.
100-yard breaststroke. Lashak, Cercello, Menezes, and Droyer for the Wildcats. Here we go. Look at lane number 5 and Brian Noth with the really long underwaters, but that helps him to an early lead. All the Warriors are leading over the Wildcats.
I mean, yeah, right now the Warriors are probably 1-2-3. Unless that's lane 4's Ryan Doyer trying to break that up. But they're definitely 1-2, and they do have a slight lead on 3. This would be a huge event for the Warriors if they were able to pull this off.
Warriors still 1-2, fighting for that 3rd spot right now.
Really important for Neuqua that Doyer tries to break this up, because if not, they will get 1-2-3'd in this event. They're definitely going to get 1-2'd here. See if Doyer can fight. See his Waubonsie teammate. Yep, they are going to go 1-2-3 as Waubonsie 1-2-3-5.
That is huge for the Warriors.
And that's, as we just said, a very important one. Almost under 1 minute for the 100-yard breaststroke. That is quick.
Brian Knott, the winner from Dub V, and right behind him are the Hyun brothers. What a job there. Waubonsie really making this an interesting meet now.
Well, now, yeah, as you said, really just sets up well for event 12 of 12. We've got 3 Neuqua teams and 3 Waubonsie teams. And it's going to come down So this last one is what it looks like. Definitely close. I'm not sure who's in the lead as of yet, but this last event will matter. And to start us off, we will have Ian Alumba in the water in lane 1, Alex Dunn in lane 3, and Amir Aliyev in lane 4 for the Wildcats. Swim their first leg. And then Conrads, Lamb, and Skirka in lanes 5, 6, and 7 for the Warriors. And here we go. Can't knock the importance of this last event.
Yeah, this is huge. This might decide the meet right here. The Wildcats, and especially lane number 4 with Aliyev, Dunn, Kondrasev, and Droyer, gonna have to compete and fight their way to a Wildcat victory here.
Yeah, no, definitely looking for lane 4 in this one. Aliyev looking to get them off to a quick start, and we are in the water.
Here we go. 12th and final event of the day here on Neuqua Media. The boys varsity swim and dive meet. The War 204 meets the water. And you're seeing the conclusion of it right now.
And Conrad's, as we've seen him do so many times tonight, with an early lead.
And this field of competitors still in the water has yet another 50 to go. So if Conrad's, who won the 500-yard free dimension, can expand this lead ever so slightly and give Waubonsie as much time as they need, that really puts a lot of the pressure off the back end guys, especially in this event, being Wang, Despandi, and Noth. And here they go. Elmer Wang now. He's a great competitor.
Here comes Aiden Dunn.
Again, Wang and Connor Boyle went at it in the pool earlier.
And just slowly but surely trying to chip away into that lead.
Wang still has the lead. Dunn trying to cut that gap off. Now making the turn is Wang. Here comes Dunn. You're looking at lane 5 right now. Elmer Wang with a lead.
It is going to be important for Neuqua to try and win this one, as it looks like Waubonsie is probably going to get third as well.
Here comes Dima Kondrasev into the pool, and Arnav Despandi as well in for the Warriors. He still has that lead, but the Wildcats really going to have to get something going. Kondrasev going to need to step it up to beat Despandi.
Kondrasev just needs to give Doyer a chance in this one.
Droyer has to come up huge.
But Despandi's doing a great job here to hold him off. Just needs about a 5-second lead.
It looks like Kondrasev lost some steam there.
Yeah, Kondrasev looks to be dying, but he might actually be catching up on this last one. Let's see if Doyer can do anything against Brian Noth.
Here we go, Brian Noth. Going up against Ryan Droyer. Ryan Droyer trying to come back. They're already done with their first 25.
You saw Doyer there giving it every for his 25 to try and chip away at this lead a little bit, but it might be too little too late.
Here we go, last 50 of the day.
This will probably be a big win for Waubonsie here. Going to be a very close meet overall if this stays the same.
Here's Noth. Still has a nice lead over Droyer, and it should stay that way. The Warriors going to take 3 straight events on the back end of this meet, and they might have just stole a victory on the road.
We had 3 event wins in a row for them to go 1-2, then 1-2-3, and then win the last event. Definitely going to cost the Wildcats here. And that relay is celebrating. You You think that means they probably took this one?
That's a lethal combination of Conrad's, Wang, Deshpande, and Noth. Yeah, they take first. 3:18.97. Your winning time. The Wildcats behind them with a 3:22.40, and that will do it for our varsity coverage of swim and dive here. It was senior night. Exciting to see the seniors get celebrated, and there are our seniors: Mir Aliev, Connor Boyle, Ryan Cercello, Jacob Duncan, Alex Dunn, Michael Leshock, Mark Menezes, and Jimmy Sinise. The 8 seniors on this varsity roster get recognized tonight, and we want to wish them the best of luck as they head on with their future careers and plans and aspirations. And we also want to thank them for 4 years of hard work, dedication, and commitment to the Neuqua Valley Swim and Dive program. Well, that is going to do it for senior night here. Again, don't go anywhere. We should have the JV meet coverage at around 7 o'clock tonight. So don't go anywhere for that. And Charlie Rook and Alexis Emmons will take you the rest of the way home for that. So thank you so much for tuning in. Charlie, you have any final thoughts as we wrap up? What did you like here from this varsity meet tonight?
Well, just a very competitive one all around. One of Neuqua's biggest challenges of the year coming from this Waubonsie set. And it's going to be very close on the score sheet. As we mentioned, those last 3 races definitely going to be a contributing factor there for the Warriors. But I liked what I saw all night. It was a really fun meet, really great to do. And I hope you tune in later for me and Alexis Emmons. We'll be back doing JV. Or if not, tune into some Neuqua girls basketball with my friends Dom and Jack Ashby doing that. So, with that said, we will see you later. We hope to see you tonight.
For sure, we do have that double billing. The girls varsity basketball team will take on the Timothy Christian Trojans right here at home. And you can catch both of the JV boys swim and girls varsity basketball live here on our YouTube at Neuqua Media on YouTube, as well as NeuquaTV.org. Hey, that is going to wrap it up for our coverage here of the varsity side of things here. The War of 204 within the Aquatic Center here at Neuqua Valley High School. So for the entire Neuqua Media crew here, for our camera operator, Missy Rambasoon, our director, Gracie Torres, special thank you to Miss Lisa Trout. My partner's been Charlie Rook. I've been Dominic Liacani. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to the varsity side of things. Charlie and Alexis are going to take you the rest of the way home with the JV meet. Have yourselves a fantastic night, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be. Make sure you're staying safe. And we will see you for the JV portion of this boys swim and dive meet between the Wildcats and the Warriors. So long, everyone. Take care.
And what is up? Thank you for joining us here inside the pool area at Neuqua for this JV swim meet. I'm Charlie Rook, and I'm here with a very special guest, Alexis Emmons. Alexis, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me, Charlie.
It's great to see you. Great to have a little bit of experience here on the team. So we're really looking forward to getting going here in this War of 204 matchup between Neuqua and Waubonsie. Alexis, what can we look for out of this Neuqua team tonight?
Well, Charlie, these boys have been swimming together for years now. They swim together on their club team, Fox Valley Swim Team. So this is going to be a very competitive meet. They're all going to want to beat each other, and they're all going to want to rub it in their faces afterwards.
100%, 100%. You love to hear it. So that's awesome. And we are underway. It looks like lane 4's Anthony Chen for Neuqua is fighting with Waubonsie's Sam Lohman and Sean Ball. For a close here in the medley relay.
Yep, those boys are all really great at backstroke, so that was a great race out of them.
We know certainly a very tight front three there, as Neuqua's Noah Garrison in the water now. Very strong breaststroke swimmer in his own right.
Yeah, Noah has a fantastic breaststroke. If anyone ever wants to learn how to swim breaststroke, I strongly recommend watching Noah and asking him for tips, because that kid can just fly.
And we're seeing it here tonight as he's going to touch in second place and give it to Jonathan Menisto, who's going to do his best to hunt down Peter Bartson on this fly. And here they go. Menisto's trying to make up some ground. But Bartson looks really strong here in the water. And no real change. If anything, Bartson kind of extending that lead. As Connor Nelson now is going to jump in the water and try to catch up. But it looks maybe a little too late here for Neuqua. But here comes Connor Nelson. And Waubonsie also over in lane 6, looking like a third place finish for them as well. While Connor Nelson may have caught up a little bit, too late, as Loic Chang will get the win for the Warriors here in Event 1. Strong start to the night for the JV Warriors. A win here in this 200-yard medley relay. Really strong swim from them in lane 5. You heard Coach Allen mentioning a 53 swim down just to cool down.
Yep, getting those cool downs in are really important, especially after these sprint races, just to flush out all that lactic acid. It really helps preserve you for the length of these meets.
Definitely, it's great to hear a perspective on that from someone who's gotten to do it so many times. And we're about to begin the 200-yard freestyle. For Neuqua Valley, Mikhail McDade in lane 1, Andrew Schmidt lane 2, Ryan Emmons lane 3, Jonathan Menisto lane 4. Ryan Emmons, brother of Alexis Emmons, who joins us here today. And he's got a bit of a lead here.
Yep, the hardest thing about the 200, Charlie, is that it's a controlled sprint. You have to be able to find a pace that's not as fast as your 100 freestyle pace, but not as slow as a 500 freestyle pace. So these 200s in any stroke are honestly the hardest events.
Well, it certainly looks like that and the 500 free, certainly two of the challenging ones here. And it is Ryan Emmons with a bit of a lead here as we enter about the 75-yard mark. His teammate Andrew Schmidt coming up on him a little bit.
Now, the one thing that really helps Ryan and honestly all of these swimmers in the water is that they really get onto their sides when they take each stroke. Now, that rotation allows you to grab a lot of water, and you are able to then move all of that water, thus pushing you really far across the pool with very little effort.
And we're seeing the two Neuqua boys in front do a great job of that here, as we've got quite a battle between Schmidt and Emmons in 2 and 3. Love to see two Neuqua boys out front. And as Alexis talked about, so important to get onto your side and make sure it's a controlled sprint here in this one. Definitely one of the harder events we'll see tonight, if not the hardest. And Emmons and Schmidt battling it out here. Last 25. Let's see who wants it more.
And it looks like Schmidt here is trying to back half it. And by that, I mean he's going to try to swim his last 50 faster than his first 50, which is honestly very hard to do.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I run as well. I know negative splitting or back halving, as you say, very difficult. Very difficult indeed. And it looks like Emmons might have just gotten the touch first there. So a very, very strong start to the evening for him. And congratulations to you, Alexa. Seeing your brother win there. And Schmidt and Emmons sharing a moment in the water. A very close race. Just about 0.6 seconds separating those two there.
And both for Ryan and Andrew, they had huge drops, both under 2 minutes. So congratulations to them.
Well, definitely love to see people breaking the barrier of 2 minutes. Some extremely fast times there. As lane 5's Waubonsie swimmer as well, very close to hitting that mark. So good for them.
I believe Ryan and Andrew are both freshmen, so to be under 2 minutes already at 14 years old is incredible. So those two are going to be huge for this Neuqua team in the future.
Well, you know, this is what we love to see with Neuqua. Definitely a squad with a lot of depth. They develop their JV athletes very well, as we've seen in the past, and so it leads them to a very bright future. And the next event is probably my favorite, just a straight sprint. The boys 50-yard freestyle. For Neuqua Valley, we have an all Neuqua Valley heat here. Alex Kai, lane 1, Aruv Dond, lane 2, Anish Bassetti, lane 3, and Ryan Mulligan in lane 4. Keep an eye on Ryan Mulligan here, seated at 26.7. Oh, it is the 200-yard IM. My apologies. I am very sorry about that. Zach Franzen, lane 1, Austin Pham, lane 2, Anthony Chen, lane 3, and Noah Garrison, lane 4. Again, I'm very sorry about that. Completely misread it. And not entirely sure what's going on here. We'll find out in a second as they're going to step down from the blocks. Bit of confusion between whether or not this is the 50-yard free or the 200-yard IM. And it is going to be the IM, so we had it right the second time. We apologize for the confusion there. And we are now in the water. So, one of the more fun events here tonight. They're going to swim 50 of everything.
Now, one of the most important things in these two AMs are fast turns. You do not want to be sitting on the wall for a very long time. And like one of our old coaches used to say, speed in, power out. So the faster you go in, the harder you're going to come off, and the better you're going to maintain your speed off the blocks.
Definitely, and we're seeing lane 3's Anthony Chen and lane 5's Sam Lohman from Waubonsie and Neuqua battling it out right now. So we're entering the halfway through the backstroke portion, and we'll soon be starting the breaststroke. Anthony Chen doing a nice job here, trying to keep up with his Waubonsie counterpart. As we mentioned earlier, a bit of a rivalry between a lot of these guys, swimming together for a very long time.
And it looks like Anthony is going to catch up to Sam here on this breaststroke.
You know, Anthony doing an excellent job under the water there to extend himself and catch up. And he is actually going to pass him there.
He's got him just by a little bit.
So we're going to see a very last interesting 50-yard free here.
Now, in that breaststroke, both Anthony and Sam did a great job on their underwater pullouts. I know personally, where I swam the 200 IM, doing those underwater pullouts always burned like crazy. So the fact that they were able to do them and get out so far is incredible.
We know Anthony looked like he was doing that with such ease, and he's gotten a bit of a lead here in the 50-yard free. But what an underwater that was from Waubonsie, and he's brought himself right back into this race.
And this is going to be a close finish, and this is a great race.
And it looks like Sam Lohman of Waubonsie, that's really close. We're going to take you to the scoreboard in a second when everyone finishes. Honestly, could not tell you who got that one. And it's going to be very close. Waubonsie definitely got the next 2 spots.
Between first and second, it's going to come down to hundredths.
Yeah, we saw earlier tonight on the varsity level one of the races being decided by just .04 of a second. So every little thing counts in a swim race. And who's it going to be? Lane 5's. That is Lohman from Waubonsie, just getting the edge there by about .22. What an incredibly close race. I thought Chen had him there, but a very, very strong finish from Lohman to catch up and take it in that heat. And what a great race from those two. As you mentioned earlier, the competitive side of these two teams really coming out here, as we saw this one just go down to the wire.
And those races are honestly the most fun to watch because it just gets everyone on deck super excited. And then, as you could hear, a bunch of the boys started screaming. And that's what's really the most fun thing about this sport, is that when races go really well, it creates that energy, and then everyone else starts doing really well.
Yeah, it's always amazing to see the team environment that all these athletes have. And you'd love to see the team spirit on the sideline. But now it's my favorite event, the 50-yard free. So, Alex Kai, Aruv Dond, Anish Bassetti, and Ryan Mulligan. And they are in the water. And Ryan Mulligan and Bassetti, a close race here, as this really just is an absolute dogfight the whole way through. And it looks like Mulligan just edge him out, and that's close, but yep, Mulligan should take that one. Very good performance from him, seated at 26.7. Let's see if he got that. And he did, 26.51, so congratulations to him with a .02 second PR there. Bassetti also swimming a very solid race, under 27 himself, just .3 separating those two. We've talked about how close these races can get. We saw one in the last one. And that is lane 2's. That was lane 2's Aruv Dond, almost breaking 30, but he did set a .1 PR himself. But now we enter lane 2, or sorry, heat 2. Owen Matthews, lane 1, Doyer, lane 2, Dylan, Connor Nelson, lane 4, and we are off. And here we go. It looks like Doyer might have it right now, but Waubonsie's lane 5, Sean Ball, looks really strong here.
Just like that 200 IM, this is going to go right down to the hundredths.
And it looks like Sean Ball touched first, so it should be a Waubonsie win there. And let's see. In lane 5, yep, 24.78 for him. So a very strong race, the only one in the field under 25, I believe. And lane 3's Brian Dillon in second. So a very close one, as you mentioned, Alexis. And those 50-yard frees are really exciting to watch just because of how close they end up getting. And it really does come down to the hundredths of a second. Oh, and a very close race. And Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to go to a quick break, but stay tuned, and we will be right back on Neuqua Media. And we are back inside the pool at Neuqua. Once again, thank you so much for joining us here. Be sure to check us out, neuquamedia.org on YouTube and neuquatv.org. And we are ready to start the boys' 100-yard butterfly event. Alexis, any thoughts on this event?
Well, the most important thing, at least in my opinion, in this 100 butterfly is to never stop kicking. I actually learned this the hard way when I was about 9 years old. My coach kept putting me in the 100 fly every single meet because I would stop kicking and just rely on my arms to get me through the water, and that is a very big mistake. You want to keep kicking in order to keep your hips up so that way you aren't sinking and just dragging a bunch of water on your back across the pool.
Definitely, and definitely one of the harder events the boys will swim here tonight. A sprint, but a very tiring stroke, and we're seeing leading for Neuqua is lane 4's Michael Londato, but your overall leader is going to be lane 6's Jude Caruso. He's swimming an excellent race over there in lane 6. And his partner in lane 5, Gavin Bentley, close on his tail. And it's Michael Landado in third right now for Neuqua. But he's got some company of his own in Ryan Mulligan coming up. And here they go. And Mulligan and Landado are going to go 3-4. But your event winner is going to be Jude Caruso, followed by Gavin Bentley. And you mentioned the kicking earlier. Looked like Jude Caruso did a really good job of that throughout the entire thing, as he will get about a 2-second win against his teammate, and very close to a sub-1 there for him. So, a very quick race for Jude Caruso.
Yep, all of those boys did a great job of maintaining that constant kick. And because Jude did such a good job of that, that's honestly why he went that 102. And if he continues to train that hard and continues to develop that kick and that stroke, he will be going sub 1 minute very soon.
And we will certainly see him in years to come for Waubonsie, part of this JV team. Young guy, and definitely got a bright future, as Alexis just mentioned, as we are getting ready now to start the boys' 100-yard freestyle. And this one's more of a sprint. And we'll see Alex Kai in lane 1, Blaine Rizvanovich in lane 2, Kyle Anderson lane 3, and Zach Stevenson lane 4. An all Neuqua heat here in this one. Hopefully we'll see a little bit of healthy competition, as all guys will be looking for an event win here. Your fastest guy on paper will be Zach Stevenson with a time of 103.5. Let's see if he's able to break the minute marks today in the 100-yard freestyle. So there's the whistle. The boys getting on the blocks now. It is. Just awaiting the start here for this 100-yard free event. And they're off and in the water.
And out of this group of boys, Zach had a phenomenal start. He was actually able to get out to the flags. Now, when doing starts, you really want to focus on trying to go out and not just straight down.
Yeah, no, and he definitely did a great job of that. Got off to a really fast start. It's weird. Lane 2's Blaine Rizvanovich was out the water almost immediately. But Kyle Anderson now in lane 3 looks to have a slight lead here as we enter the last 50. Him and Zach Stevenson and Rizvanovich very close together. But Kyle Anderson is now starting to move up. Could be an event win here from him. Junior JV swimmer with a bright future. And here comes Zach Stevenson in lane 4. Is it too little, too late? And yet it will be Kyle Anderson with the win here. Congratulations to him. Followed by Zach Stevenson and Rizvanovich. And here comes Alex Kai to finish off as well. Eager to see the times here from Anderson. Anderson seated at 105.9, and he will go 103.7, so congratulations to him. A very nice PR there. And he did a great job of asserting himself with about 60 meters left. And we will now enter Heat 2 of 2. So for the boys, we will see Yonal Sarasinghe in lane 1, Brian Wilk lane 2, Andrew Schmidt lane 3, and Connor Nelson in lane 4 for the Wildcats. And we are off and in the water. You mentioned getting distance off the start. I thought Nelson did a great job of that there. But it's lane 2's Brian Wilk in front right now.
And one thing you'll notice with all these boys, Charlie, is that they're all going to really attack their turns. So they're going to go in fast and come off hard. And that's actually extremely important in these sprint races, because the faster you go into a turn or any kind of transition, the more likely you are to maintain that speed throughout the rest of the race. So coming into these turns hard and fast is actually going to help you on the last 25 when your legs are burning and you're tired.
Well, we saw that there from Connor Nelson, who's really put on the Jets in this last 50.
Yep, you can see him picking up his kick tempo because you can see all of that white water, and that is what helped him to win that race.
Congratulations to him on an event win. As you mentioned, very important to get off the board hard on those turns. And Connor Nelson did a great job there of asserting himself with a winning time of 54.88.
And he was right on his seat time. And now in these sprint events, especially mid-season like these boys are, it is very difficult to drop because your body is tired, you are hurting. So the fact that he was basically right on his seat time is really good and really impressive. And honestly, any drops that we see tonight should be, those boys are doing amazing, and they are going to have one heck of a time at DVC.
Well, yeah, no, you definitely said it there. Mid-season, definitely tired bodies, tired legs, tired arms. So as you said, any drop in time or just 0.5 over, definitely a great race. And Connor Nelson showed that there, along with the rest of the boys swimming almost right on their seed times. I think Brian Wilk got quite a bit under based on how he performed in that last heat. So a nice job by them, as we will now enter one of the longer events of the day, or the longest event of the day, the 500-yard freestyle. For Neuqua Valley, we've got Jaden Coles, lane 1, Owen Matthews, lane 2, Ryan Emmons, lane 3, and Jonathan Ministo in lane 4. Alexis, what makes this event so difficult?
Well, Charlie, honestly, one of the most difficult things in this race is just finding a pace that's comfortable for you and that you can hold for such an extended period of time. And actually, there's a little trick that some of us swimmers do with our counters, is obviously those are to help you keep track of what lap you're on, but you can actually tell your teammate to hold it a certain way or to shake it to let you know that you're either on pace or you need to speed up.
Oh, that's really interesting. I mean, yeah, you always those numbers there. It's great now to understand that you can do that too. And we are underway. The boys doing a really smooth job off the blocks. And it's a fairly even race on the first lap, 1 of 20.
And like you said, how they were all really smooth off the blocks, that's actually extremely important in this race. You don't want to go out too fast. You want to stay smooth, keep a good even kick rate and stroke rate, and then start to build it up and pick it up towards the back half of the race.
Well, yeah, no, definitely one of the harder events, and definitely one of the events you'll definitely want to pick it up towards the end. One of the harder events to do that. As you get used to swimming a certain pace, I'm sure it's very difficult to try and pick it up. But our front 4 here, almost parallel. No one's really fallen off the pace as of yet, but it's lane 4's Jonathan Ministo with a slight lead over the field. And his partner Ryan Emmons in lane 3 staying with him.
And as you just saw with those 4 boys in lanes 3 through 6, all of their counters were shaking the boards, telling them to speed up. And that's actually extremely important because obviously that's going to help keep you on your pace, and that's going to help you get the time that you want.
And we will definitely see if they speed up as the event goes on. See what the boys do with the boards here. Definitely being told to speed up a little bit. And it's still lane 4's Jonathan Ministo hanging on to a lead, but Ryan Emmons not going away yet. The 2 boys from Waubonsie in 5 and 6. just heard the results there from the varsity meet earlier today. Very, very close one there. Disappointing loss for Neuqua as they would lose the last 3 events to just miss the win there. Every point mattered as we saw earlier today, but still a great swim from them, only to lose by 7 in a very close race against a talented Waubonsie team. It looks like Ministo started to extend his lead over the rest of the field, but Emmons still doing a solid job of staying in contact.
Another thing that you'll start to notice here is that the boys will start to breathe after a certain number of strokes, and that's what we like to call a breathing pattern. Now, in these longer races, having a set breathing pattern is very important because that allows you to get in the proper amount of oxygen so you don't wind up spiking your lactic acid too early.
Yeah, and definitely you'll notice most of them going every 2 strokes. Right now, it looks more to be going every 3 or 4. So Ministo's doing a really good job here. Looks really smooth and consistent all the way through. He's now extended his lead to about a third of the pool. And looks like Waubonsie in lane 5, that's Sam Lowe, now trying to start catching up to us for second. So those two are going to have a very close battle for the 7 lengths remaining. But the story of this one right now is Jonathan Ministo, who is running away, or should I say swimming away with this one.
And one thing that you'll notice here with Jonathan's stroke is he has what we like to call a 6-beat kick. Now, in a 500, that is actually very challenging to do because a 6-beat kick is a constant kick. So for each arm cycle, he's taking 6 kicks. And that's honestly what is helping him stay ahead. And that is honestly what is going to help him win this race.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, 100%, you can see there just being constant all the way through. I'm sure it's very challenging to keep that up for 20 lengths. Can't even imagine trying to race that long. As he enters the last 50, you see him even now trying to speed up, doing an excellent job of that in this race. Just stayed consistent. You can see his teammate with the red box signaling his last length. And he's gonna go finish up here.
And when I swam the 500, it was such a relief seeing those double red markers because that means you are done and you just have to give it your all for one more 25. And then you can cool down and flush out all that lactic acid.
Without a doubt. And right now we've got Emmons and Lohman. It's a very close race there.
Yep. Between Ryan and Sam, it's going to come down to hundredths. Honestly, that was probably just a fingernail difference.
Oh, it's really whoever hit it harder. We'll see the scoreboard in a minute as Emmons congratulates Ministo on a great race for him. And the lanes 1 and 2 are going to finish off their last 50 yards.
Looks like Owen is on his last 50. Jaden is going to have another 50 after this.
Yep, my apologies. Yep, Jaden will have another 50 after this. Still, congratulations to him for being able to finish this race. Very, very challenging, and we saw a very strong field out there today.
And it actually looks like our dive coach is there cheering on our boys.
Well, you'd love to see that. I'd love to see the other coaches come in and cheer on the boys as they finish out. It's really what Neuqua swimming is all about, that team spirit and community, which I'm sure you've seen in your time swimming there.
Honestly, it's the best feeling hearing your teammates cheer for you and hearing your coaches cheer you on. It just lets you know that you're doing a good job and that these people care about you because you spend so much time with them that they do become like your second family. So having them show you support is honestly one of the best feelings.
And I'm sure it is. And we will now get to see the times, as Ministo is going to go 5:18. So a very fast race for him. Followed by Emmons did edge him out, so congratulations to Emmons in second place with a 5:28.09. We talked about that fingertip earlier in this race, and that's really what it came down to here. 0.09, that is just absolutely nothing, really.
And you're right, it isn't. Honestly, 0.09 is probably the difference between if someone cut their fingernails or not.
Well, exactly, right? And just, you love to see that. Definitely a rare thing to see in an event this long, just coming down to the absolute wire. Emmons did a really solid job of holding him off, as Lohman was coming for him that last 50. But he just hung on. And we are now ready to start the next event today, which is going to be the boys' 200-yard freestyle relay. So, starting in the pool for Neuqua, Christian Barrios, lane 1, Noah Garrison, lane 3, and Ryan Emmons in lane 4. Definitely one of the faster events of today.
Actually, it looks like for our lane 14 that they changed the order.
Oh, it looks like you're right. We're off in the water here. That is lane 4's Ryan Emmons, I believe.
I think that might be Andrew Schmidt. I think him and Ryan switched places since Ryan just got done with the 500.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. So Schmidt starts off in a very strong swim for him, as now Doyer's in the water. We saw his brother at senior night earlier in the varsity level.
And Luke Dorer here is doing a great job of having a high intense kick rate and stroke rate. Now in a 50, having a high kick rate and stroke rate is very important because it is basically just a splash and dash, just down and back and you're done. So the faster you can move your arms and move your legs while being able to move as much water as possible is very important.
Well, yeah, no, I definitely imagine it's one of the most exciting events you'll swim, just up and down, simple as it's now Waubonsie in lane 5. This is Sean Ball getting right back into this race for them, so we're going to have a close one here. Joshua Morris and Ryan Emmons. Let's see if Emmons is affected from that 500 as we finish up here.
They both had fantastic turns. Both Ryan and Josh went in hard and came off hard.
It's going to be really close here.
Now, see, this is why I love coming to these meets and watching these meets, because of races like that, where they just get so close and everyone starts to get fired up, and then when they finish, and you can't really tell who finished first, who finished second, and at the scoreboard, and you see it's just so much fun.
Well, it certainly looks like it, and based on the Neuqua team's reaction, I'm gonna assume that Emmons got that. So a really close race there.
And they did.
Emmons did get it.
0.04.
Second 0.04 of the afternoon. And what a race that is to end it here, as we'll go to our second break. Once again, I'm Charlie Rook along with Alexa Emmons. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will be right back. So don't go anywhere. We've got an exciting one here in the War of 204. We'll be right back. And we are back here inside the pool at Neuqua Valley for this 100-yard backstroke event. And we are heat 1 of 2 right now. Kyle Anderson, lane 1, Aruf Don, lane 2, Blaine Rizvanovich, lane 3, and Zach Stevenson, lane 4. Looks like Stevenson has a slight lead here in this one. He's doing a great job of maintaining that. Aruf Don in lane 2 in second. And Zach Stevenson's got off to a very quick start and had a really nice underwater to start that next 25 there.
Now, just like in the 100 freestyle, it's really important to have a high stroke rate and a fast kick rate while also maintaining some kind of efficiency so you can move through the water. And honestly, 100 backstroke can be very, very difficult if you do it right, because by that fourth 25, your legs are starting to go numb and you just have to give it everything you got for one last 25.
Certainly seeing the boys do that here, as it's going to be lane 4's Zach Stevenson taking this event. It's a nice job to him. See the time in a second. A very solid race from Zach Stevenson, and he will go
Almost 2 seconds exactly.
1:12.09. Yep, you're right. A 2-second PR from him. And you mentioned it earlier, if you're PRing at this stage in the season, well, you're doing a really good job. The body's definitely tired. So, a really solid performance by him.
Zach is going to have a great meet out DVC.
Definitely, you saw it there. He's going to be very strong. And so now, heat 2 of 2 here. Michael Lendato, lane 1, Brian Dillon, lane 2, Luke Doyer, lane 3, and Anthony Chen, lane 4. And we're off and running here. Looks like Anthony Chen coming out of the water in front. Anthony Chen looks really smooth off his strokes.
Yeah, and I actually swam with Anthony back in the late summer and early fall, and Anthony has always had a very, very smooth backstroke. And while it doesn't look like he's putting in very much effort, he is really moving in that water.
Well, yeah, no, you can definitely see that with him being in second right now against Sean Ball of Waubonsie Valley. It's going to be a very close race between those two. We've seen that a few times tonight. We've seen Sean Ball in a few events tonight as well. Very solid swimmer for the Warriors. And Anthony Chen and Sean Ball is going to come down to the wire here. Let's see if Anthony Chen has anything left to try and catch up. But it looks like it's going to be Ball taking this one, and followed by Chen. So a close race there.
That was a fantastic race. I actually, again, swam with Sean because we all swim on the same club. Sean is really good at turning it on that last 12 and a half yards. And that's what helped him win with that 101.71. And actually, congratulations to Anthony. He was seated at a 103.51, dropped about half a second, and is now at a 102.92.
Yeah, and we've mentioned it a few times. They're definitely going to do some major damage in DVC once they get some rest. Really interesting. You were able to swim with Sean Ball as well as Anthony Chen. Know them both so well, and we definitely saw Ball turn it on that last 25 especially. He really flipped the switch there for the event win. And we're now going to enter the boys' 100-yard breaststroke. This is going to be an all Neuqua heat again here. It's going to be Russell Howard, lane 1, Jaden Coles, lane 2, Zach Franzan, lane 3, and Mikhail McDade, lane 4. And the boys seated at watch out for Franzen here with the 124 seed. Let's see if we can get Russell Howard maybe under 130 tonight. It should be a very exciting race between these Neuqua boys. I mention it every time I see this all Neuqua heat. Really exciting to see some healthy competition and maybe a look into the future of the team, especially at Heat 1 of the JV level. As we are now awaiting the start of this heat. Boys about to enter the blocks. And there they go. And they hit the water there to start the 100-yard breaststroke. And you'll notice lane 4 there, Mikhail McDade, did a really nice underwater there, getting some solid distance ahead of the rest of the field. But lane 3, Zach Franzen, nice job catching him up very quickly.
Now, breaststroke is actually one of the hardest strokes to learn from a technique standpoint. There's actually a certain timing to the stroke where you're supposed to finish your kick as you're shooting your arms forward. So the fact that these boys are actually moving forward at a very good pace, and it looks like they are finishing their kick right as they're shooting their hands forward, is incredible. Because for me personally, that does not happen. So to see these boys at such a young age and at such a high level doing that is really impressive.
And you're absolutely right. Really important to nail the technique down. But if you'll notice in lane 1, it looks like Russell Howard's goggles had fallen off the start.
Oh no.
So that's such a shame for him. Still swimming a pretty good race to be competing for 3rd. But isn't that just every swimmer's nightmare off the blocks to have your goggles fall down as we enter the water?
Yep, it is honestly every swimmer's worst nightmare to have their goggles come off. But what's really impressive is that he just let them come off. He didn't stop to try to fix them. And that's honestly, if that touchpad worked, he's going to wind up going under 130 because he just said, you know what? I'm not going to touch him. I'm just going to go and have a great race. And actually, even though he didn't go under 130, he did wind up dropping over a second.
Well, I think every guy in this heat PRing tonight.
Yep.
So congratulations to all of them, all swimming very impressive races. And as you just said, a shout out to Russell Howard being able to pull it off with his goggles down. So good job by him. Every swimmer's worst nightmare, and not at all an ideal situation. You could see his teammate walk up to him to ask him what happened after the race had finished. But he still swims a pretty solid race. And we are about to start heat 2.
And one thing I recommend against having your goggles falling off is to actually put your goggles on first and then put your cap on over your goggles. That cap just kind of acts as an extra layer of protection. And what I do personally is I wear a thinner latex cap. I put my goggles on and then I put on a thicker silicone cap. So in that case, if my silicone cap comes off, I still have my goggles and another cap keeping my hair up.
Yeah, and we've definitely seen a few boys do that a few times tonight, especially on the varsity level, just trying to guarantee that their goggles don't fall off. And we're all set to start heat 2. Austin Pham, lane 1, Yonal Sarasinghe, lane 2, Brian Wilk, lane 3, and Noah Garrison, lane 4. And here they go in heat 2 of 2.
And actually, Ralph did a great job of getting off the blocks because as soon as he heard that beep, you just saw him go. And that's actually very important in swimming, having a fast reaction time, because the faster you can get off the block and start swimming, that means the less time you're going to have in your total race.
You know, we definitely saw Ralph get off the block very quick there, and he's now leading. You can see his Waubonsie teammates cheering him on as he's going to try and hang on to this lead against lane 4's Noah Garrison, who we have mentioned already, a very strong breaststroke swimmer in his own right. You've mentioned those fast starts, clearly very important here, as this is going to come down to just a few yards. You can see the Waubonsie teammates on the sideline willing him in, and he is going to get the event win.
And that was a great race by Noah. Noah actually has a fantastic start as well. He can get really far. He can get great airtime, so he can get really far out, and it's very hard for a lot of people to do that.
We know Noah Garrison, definitely an impressive breaststroke swimmer, and along with his counterpart Raf from Waubonsie in lane 5, got off the blocks very quickly.
And actually having to chase Ralph down for that entire 100 actually helped Noah drop some time. He was seated at a 109, actually swam a 107.
Oh, so congratulations to Noah, getting about a 1.3 or so seconds under his seed time. And a very fast race here from those two. And that's what we love to see. As we are now getting ready to start the last event of the evening, the boys' 400-yard freestyle relay. In lane 1 for Neuqua, we'll start with Kyle Anderson. In lane 3, Andrew Schmidt. Lane 4, Connor Nelson. And then Waubonsie taking up 5 through 7 with Sam Lohman, Peter Bartson, and Henry Rao. Definitely one of my favorite events, the relay sprint at the end of the meet. One of the most exciting ones. We're looking for a really good one here tonight from that lane 4 of Neuqua. Connor Nelson, Anthony Chen, Ryan Ammons, and Jonathan Ministo. We've seen them have great races all night. Ministo and Emmons both coming off of a 500 performance. But right now, Anderson, Schmidt, and Nelson in the water. And it looks like lane 5, Sam Lohman, has a tad bit of a lead on this first 25, being followed closely by Connor Nelson.
Yep, Sam and Connor are both going to go at it at this first leg in this 400 free relay. Sam and Connor are both fantastic sprint freestylers, so this is going to be a great race between these two A relays from Neuqua and Waubonsie.
Yeah, and we're seeing that here. Connor Nelson doing his best to hang on to Lohman.
And actually on that third turn, Connor actually had the better turn as opposed to Sam. Sam was just a little bit too far away from the wall, so that means he wasn't able to get as good of a push off that wall, which could have caused him to slow down. But Connor was just a little bit tighter, which means he was able to maintain that speed that he brought in from his start, and that's what finished as strong as he did.
Oh, without a doubt. And we actually did just have a score update coming into this race. It's Neuqua 83, Waubonsie at 73. So this one's going to be very close coming down to it. Let's see if Waubonsie can snag a win here and see what it does to the point totals. But right now, it's Anthony Chen who just hunted down Chan in lane 5.
And Anthony was able to do that because he has such a high stroke rate and kick rate. As you can see with Loic, he is really kicking hard, but up until now, he wasn't really moving his arms that fast. And since Anthony had that get up and go right away, Anthony was able to catch him and they were able to finish together.
Yeah, and you really saw that there, and we've got quite a battle coming on now. It's going to be Emmons and Morris in the water. You can hear the passion Waubonsie's got on the sideline. They definitely know this is only a 10-point meet. And we'll see if Emmons can hang on to Morris here. It's going to be really close. This is really what you love to see at the end of the meets, everyone getting involved in the last relay.
And Josh took out this 100 really, really fast, so it'll be interesting to see if he can hold it for this last 25. Because I know Ryan didn't take it out quite as fast, but he's bringing it home right now.
We know you can see Ryan doing everything he can, but it looks like Morris did hang on to that, and he swam a fantastic 100 there. And let's see what Jonathan Ministo can do in this last 100. We've seen him swim some very fast freestyle times tonight, especially in that 500. He's going up against Raphael Joseph Reinen, who we saw earlier. A great swimmer in his own right. And it's those two doing battle right now. Ministo is gaining ground, and it's going to be a very good last 50 here.
And it actually looks like Ralph is kind of circle swimming instead of swimming down the middle of the lane. Now, circle swimming is when you swim on either side of that middle blue line. That's what we like to do in practice to avoid collisions. But Ralph is actually winding up swimming more yardage than Jonathan, because Jonathan is swimming right down the middle. And that's what helped Jonathan catch up. And this is going to go right down to the wire.
Menisto or Raph. Here it comes. I think Raph got it. Oh. You definitely see that from Waubonsie. And what? Yep. And we heard it here. Waubonsie got that first with .4. And what a race that was. You can hear how excited Waubonsie are with that down near the blocks. And even despite Raph doing the circle swimming, as you talked about, was just able to dig in and hang on that last 25. Menisto doing a really good job trying to catch up to him. But in the end, it is going to be a .4 victory for Waubonsie. And just what an absolute dogfight to end the evening.
Yep, this battle between these 2A relays from Neuqua and Waubonsie is something that you don't see very often. And when you do, it is so much fun. It is so electric. And as you could hear at the end, everyone on deck was just getting fired up. They were yelling. And it's just so much fun. I know in the girls' season, they didn't get to have relays, so you miss that energy that just riles everyone up. And just getting to see that here in this boys' season is so special.
Well, that certainly was the War of 204, lived up to its name. The point totals are going to be very close at the end of this one. But thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to stay updated on our broadcast this Friday. We've got girls basketball against Naperville North at 7 p.m. And this Saturday at 1:30 p.m., boys basketball takes on St. Francis. So to be sure to stay updated. But thank you so much for joining us tonight, and a special thank you to Alexis. Alexis, any final thoughts from this meet?
Well, first of all, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure, and this was honestly one of the best experiences in my high school career. And I obviously just wanted to congratulate both teams on both varsity and JV levels for a fantastic meet. And I wish you guys both the best of luck in the rest of your season, and I hope that we get to see you guys race just as hard as you did tonight at DVC.
Well, definitely some wise words there from Alexis, and we thank you so much for coming aboard. It was definitely interesting to get that second perspective and teaching me things I definitely didn't know before this race, so thank you so much for that. But we are going to call it for the night. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to stay updated with us on neuquamedia.org on YouTube and check us out on neuquatv.org. And we will see you for the next broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Charlie Rook, and I've been alongside my partner, Alexis Emmons, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.